welcome to my channel. I am Callie, I am a photographer in Wiltshire in the UK. I started this channel because I just wanted to get you guys to know a little bit more about me, and that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So it's going to be about sort of my journey as a photographer, how I started. I get asked this all the time, sort of when did I start, how did I get into it, that kind of thing. So I'm going to talk about that today. Please subscribe to this channel so then I can post lots more videos for you guys and you can see them pop up when they are ready. So I mostly got into this at school. I actually had a compact camera, if everybody remembers those. It's just like a little compact camera, and I used to take photos of my friends at school. I will insert some clips as I'm talking as well, so then you can see some photos. So I just loved making those memories and having to look back on them, and what's really funny now is actually looking back at this age and seeing all of the pictures from when I was at school. So when it comes to choosing my GCSEs, there was a new course called the Creative Media Diploma, and this course sort of does all different kinds of media projects. Oh my god. The media projects were basically a different session, sort of like a different project every 6 weeks. So the first term I chose was photography and radio. At this point I was not even interested really in photography. I liked taking pictures, and I had a couple of friends that were interested in photography and things like that, so I decided to do that course. And you actually go to college, so I was like 15 at this point, and we used the dark rooms, we used old style cameras, and I really enjoyed it. And then we also did a lot of editing, which I could already do because my dad's quite a computer whiz, so he always like let me go on Photoshop and just do random stuff. But as I was taking photos, my teacher did say that I had a really good eye for it, and naturally, so I thought, oh, do I? You know, I always take pictures, so I just sort of done it a bit more, and I really enjoyed that course. And because my friends were into it as well, it made me sort of go into it a bit more. So those 6 weeks ended, and then I had to go and do something else, and I was really gutted because I really enjoyed it, and it was something to be really creative with. So sort of like, I would say maybe a year into the course, because it's a 2-year course, there was actually a competition to win to go to Germany for a 10-day sort of course, media course. It had film photography and it had drama. And the funny thing was that I think there was 4 spaces or 5 spaces, and basically only, I think it was 4 of us, 5 of us, and only 5 of us wrote in to win the competition. And so because there was only 5 spaces, we all got in, which was great. So we went to Germany and met some amazing people. They're probably watching now as well, because I still do speak to some of them every now and then as well, even though it's been nearly 10 years. I cannot believe it has been that long. And it's probably, you always have a time in your life where something major happens and it changes everything. That trip was one of those moments, and I was only 15. It changed my life. I cannot believe how amazing that trip was. I still think about it all the time. I think about the people that I met. The people that we met were the most amazing people I've ever met in my life, and I wish that we all lived closer, because since that trip we have not met again, which is so sad because we got on so well, and it was only 10 days, and like the first night we were all down by the lake, all chatting away, like we all knew each other forever. Like it was just so bizarre. And for the fact that there were people that spoke Swedish, Spanish and German, and we couldn't speak any of those, and they could actually speak English to us, which is obviously amazing for us. And we just all got on so well, and no one fell out or anything. We all got on so brilliantly, and I think that's what made the trip as well. It made it so enjoyable. So then after sort of getting to know each other, we then got selected for the courses. There was only a certain amount of space for each one, and typically a lot of people want to do the photography course. And I was so nervous because I thought, oh please let me do the photography one, because that's the only thing I was like massively interested in. I was interested in film as well, but obviously, as you all know, I love photography more. So we had to put a name in a hat in the end, and I'm so thankful that my name got called for that one. I was the only English one that actually did that course as well, so it was all with new people that like obviously only met that night. So it's a little bit scary, but I thought, well, you just got to do it, you know, get on with it. It's not the style photography I do now, so it was actually model photos that we did, and we actually all dressed up ourselves. I will find some photos for you. But we all got to dress in sort of like model clothes and have wigs on, or we had our hairstyle, but I think that most of us had wigs on and had our makeup done as well. And we had a professional photographer with us that would sort of like helped us along and told us what to do and how to use the lighting and things like that. And then we actually went back to his studio and edited the photos on his computers as well. So that was definitely interesting. Also, we had a chance to go all around. It's a place in Germany called Halle, and we walked around there, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I took a lot of pictures there as well, and it was absolutely beautiful. We also went to Magdeburg, which is also in Germany, and that was a beautiful place as well. So there was we did do quite a lot. I think the best part for me was we spent, I think it was a day, just one day in Berlin, and that was insane. Like, that's a place that I want to go back again because I thought it was beautiful. And we did get, obviously, took loads of those pictures. At this point, I still only had my little compact, I think. Yeah, I still have my little compact camera. So it was just amazing, because really, like, we obviously did these courses, but at the same time we made like lifelong friends and experienced things that we've never experienced before. So it was brilliant. We did so much stuff. We talked to so many people about all different things and how it's all different in different countries, like how school works and things like that, and you learning a bit of language. I mean, I don't think I can remember anything that they taught me now. It has nearly been 10 years. But I remember it like it was yesterday. We did loads of like little parties, and it was absolutely amazing, and it made me want to do photography. That was the time that I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And all the people that I met have always encouraged me. They're like, when we left, they were like, oh, you'll be a professional photographer, you'll be a famous photographer, or something like that. Next time I see you, or something like that, you'll be famous. And it really did encourage me to get on with it more as well, and I wish I could do it again. So after school, after I qualified with my GCSEs, I went to college. And this is the weird thing, because people always assume that I did photography, but I didn't, because I could have gone to a different college and did photography, but I wanted to stay in my town. So you actually had to be 18 to do the course. So I decided to do a different course in the meantime. So I did TV and film, which actually is really good for me now, because I use a lot of videos on social media and obviously now, and I know obviously how to do all the editing and videoing and all that kind of stuff. So it did really help actually with that stuff. And at this point, I'd actually started building my clientele. So I actually was photographing friends and my friends' families and neighbours even, and it kind of just like spiraled like that, because then they would recommend me to their friend or their neighbour, and that's sort of how I built up the clientele whilst I was at college. And people couldn't believe, like my friends and I couldn't believe that I was getting all these like clients in whilst I was still at college. And I would actually, like, it's so bad, but in my lessons I would actually edit the photos in my college lessons. But I wouldn't actually do any work. And then when it came to when I was near to 18, it was a decision whether I wanted to go into further education or if I wanted to do something else, or I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Obviously I knew work-wise what I eventually wanted to do, obviously I would be a photographer, but it was definitely something I was leaning towards going to university. I did look at quite a lot of places I wanted to go, and I don't know, I wanted to, but in the back of my mind I was like, do you need to? I mean, you've already built up clientele. I definitely over the years learned so much by myself that I didn't think that, I mean, going to the next level, I think all the universities do a lot more model, commercial kind of stuff. I mean, I wasn't really interested in that. I tried doing a few, but I just didn't find it interesting enough for me. Obviously other photographers, amazing, they love it. They absolutely love photographing models and things like that. I found it boring. I much preferred photographing children. I did, by this time obviously I had a bit of clientele, so I was taking pictures of babies and kids and things like that running around, and my camera just died, so I've got to do it again. I was in this sort of like, what do I do? I think a lot of people at this age is the same, don't really know what to do with themselves, and it was actually my mum who suggested, what about, because you've already built yourself up already, why don't you see how much a market stall is in Trowbridge? And it was honestly the best decision I ever made, because the clientele just went from here to here by having my own premises rather than doing it at somebody's house. And it was amazing, because obviously I got a little bit of sort of traffic coming through, people asking about pricing and things like that, and it was difficult, very, very difficult, going from, you know, college to and part-time work to, you know, I did like a summer full-time job, and in the winter I decided, let's just do it. So I dropped everything to do this, and it was really tough, because I was doing all this work and not really earning much, because the market stall rent had to be paid, I had a car to pay for, and obviously when you just passed, it's very expensive. And then all of a sudden, I think there was like, because I started in the November, and by the April 2-week holiday, the year after, it just went crazy. I was fully booked for the 2 weeks holidays, and then it just gradually was just the same. It just kept on going, and every holiday I was packed. Obviously, as I built up this clientele, it just got better and better, because people were talking about me and their friends want to come, and it just built up that way. I ended up going from a small market stall and then getting a bigger one, so I had a lot more space. I was there for 2 years, so it was quite a while that I was there for, and obviously I made friends with the market traders as well, and yeah, it was really lovely atmosphere, really nice people that work in there as well. So it's really nice when I do see them and have a little catch up and things. It's just, yeah, it was really good. There was a point where I thought, oh my god, should I do this? Should I just quit and stop and work for someone else? Because it was hard work. But I'm so glad I did it now. And then a couple of years later, I decided to start looking for a shop. I thought about this for a long time, and it was always the dream to get a shop. And I looked at a few places, just wasn't right, and we viewed this place, and it was completely different to what it's like in here now. So different. It was actually like a furniture shop before, something like that, and we had to put a stud wall up because it wasn't big enough, and we wasn't sure about the ceiling, because the ceiling's kind of, if you pop in here, it's kind of like this, and we were like, is it going to be high enough for people? Because obviously when I get adults in, I don't want like a big thing like right by the head. And then we sort of thought about it and thought, yeah, this is right. Oh, bus. So I put the deposit down, and it was so scary because I'd been in the market for 2 years building up sort of my reputation there, and I was very worried. And because I was like fully booked on weekends as well, and I was thinking, oh my god, when am I gonna have time to do all this? And I had a week, sort of like a month after I'd done the deposit, that I had nobody during the week. And so we moved in, and we'd done everything in 1 week. We all celebrated, we had some bubbles as well to celebrate. We opened the shop, and it was just crazy. I'm thinking, oh my god, what am I doing? But again, it was the best decision I ever made, and I feel like that means that sometimes you have to risk it sometimes, because you'll never know. If you don't try, then you'll never know. So I just thought, bugger it, let's go for it. and it was the best thing I ever did. And I do love it here, I absolutely love it here. I've been here nearly 4 years now in the shop, so it's just crazy to think where I've come in the sort of like last 10 years. It's been absolutely crazy journey, and I never ever in my wildest dreams think that I would be doing this now. Absolutely crazy. So this is the end of the video now, but if you did want any sort of tips on how to start a business or something like that, then I can sort of share some top tips on business ideas or how to get it started or things like that. That would be quite cool, wouldn't it? Just let me know in the comments below, and please don't forget to subscribe as it's a new channel. Obviously I would like to have more subscribers, and we're going to be doing all different kinds of videos soon as well, not just me chatting rubbish to you. I'll be doing sort of like how to design a photo wall and just like all different stuff behind the scenes. Love behind the scenes as well, so you can see me in action with my newborn photos as well. So thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.